Hi, welcome to your toddler virtual tour. I am Trish and I'm going to be starting off walking you through the building, starting off at the beginning of the day. This is where you're going to begin your day, the front door. And if you do not see anybody in the front room, please feel free to call. The phone number is 821-4118, and we will be right there. So we are going to come and visit you at the door. We ask that all the parents wear masks upon arrival. We'll come out, we'll take your child's temperature, we'll say goodbye, and then we will bring in your child in to start their day. We're going to start that with changing their shoes to put their terry shoes on, and then washing their hands before going off into their area. All of the toddlers are going to be split up into 4 different groups. They're going to travel with those groups throughout the day, throughout the environment. So which means starting off the day, we're going to have 4 areas for the children to have breakfast. We're going to have the carpet side of the EDL, another group will eat on the tile side, and then there will be 2 groups in the math and the language area. Is where they'll have breakfast. When we're doing lunch, we are actually going to have lunch on the practical life side over here, and we will bring those in groups one at a time. So we will have one group come in, they will eat their lunch, they will go to the potty together, and then everything will be sanitized and set up for the next group before they come in. This is also the room that you're going to separate in. Again, you're going to separate at the door. If you need to call, again, the phone number is 821-4118. Call, we'll get your child ready. We'll change their shoes, wash their hands, and bring them out to you. At that point, you're going to see some stuff at the end of the night on the patio for you to look. The first one is going to be your child's chart, which is going to tell them what they ate, maybe something that they did throughout the day. And then you're going to have a container also out there, which is going to have a file folder, which is going to be your mailbox until you're able to come back inside. So all your important papers will be in that file folder. If you have something for us or for the office, you can hand that to the teacher at the door, and we'll put that in the office bin for you. One thing that I wanted to point out on the first day that you arrive at for the school year is that we're going to have a packet of information for you. And this is going to be all your open house information that you're going to need. Read through it. If you have any questions, you can bring them to the Zoom meeting, which will be held on the second week of school. That'll come attached to this. The times probably have changed, so be aware of the time change. Now we're going to walk through the environment, and we're going to start with Libby, who is going to do our sensorial for the year.
Hi, this is our color area over here, and it goes by the easiest, the top shelf, down to the hardest. We start adding more colors, and the chromatic sense is what we're learning here. As we get more colors, they're going to be taking the work off the shelf and bringing it to the rug. This is all colored. We come down here and we have all 11 colors, and then we can play a cooperative game, bingo. And then this is our shade, when we can learn about shade. And I want to show you about the 3-period lesson. We can do a 3-period lesson with almost anything. This is the red, the blue, and the yellow, and that's what I would tell the children. And then I would ask them, put blue underneath the rug, and then they would move the color tablets as I tell them what to do, put it on their foot. And then I would come back and I would say, this is red, this is blue, and this is yellow. And then the 3rd period, I would ask them, where is yellow? And I'm hoping that at that time they would point to the correct color. That's the 3-period lesson. That's one of the things that we use in this area to see if they know the information that we have been teaching them. Then we have the other sensorial area over here, continuing the visual. And this is the visual, putting a disc in a slot. The kids absolutely love this work. And this is a spatial work where they put a ring on a peg, and as they go, they do little and small, and then gradation, still visual all the way up until here. The knob cylinders, they absolutely love this. Taking taking them out and making sure that they fit in the correct hole. Then we have the sound work. Soft, loud. And spy work. Mystery bag, you put this shapes in. And these are on the table. And they would close their eyes and feel the shape and then find where they go. Then we have the shape, and it's easiest to smallest, and we go all the way down to the bottom. Then we will have 419, we'll have the extra things, which is the geometric solids and the trinomial cube.
And you even have a version of the red rods.
Yes.
Just a few more of the Montessori materials and some
Yes,
extensions
much
of
more
this.
Montessori materials
Yeah.
over there. Because
Okay.
the sensorial area is what calls to the children at this age.
Okay. Thank you, Libby.
Hi, welcome to Practical Life. This area is calling to the children as well. In Practical Life, there are direct aims, independence, coordination, concentration, and order. Also, there are four main areas of Practical Life: grace and courtesy, control of movement, care of self, and care of environment. As you can see here, the shelves are, I'm messing up. We have transfer works. They go from using their whole hand to transfer objects to their finger grasp with the spoons and the scooping objects from bowl to bowl. Also, we have tonging that works on that as well. It goes from dry works to wet or liquid pouring, and the care of environment works are over on this side. So you have stringing, and window washing would also be there. We have clothespins and cutting vegetables. And also we have scrubbing a horse, which they really like, which I have out. And in this section we have art. Crayons. We don't have Play-Doh out right now, but we have chalk and stamping with a bingo dabber, and shaving cream and gluing and painting.
Fabulous. Are they using the easel much right now?
We do shaving cream at the easel.
Fun. Okay. Thanks, Angela.
Hi, my name is Robin, and this is our Math Center. We organize our works from the easiest to the most complex. Most children this age are going to work on one-to-one correspondence and route math. We start with the sorting. This would be a fixed sort. Numbers, we would first sort the items. Then I would ask something like, where would one item be placed? And the child would place the item here. And then I could go and say, well, where would two items be placed? And then they would place the two items here. Where would three items be placed? And they would place the three items here. It's important to note that the difficulties can go up to sequencing. We can order sequence, numerical sequences, and we can also pull more challenging works as the child becomes able to complete the works. We're always around to help them. If they have any questions, they can always ask us. We're here to assist them. And
so right now, Robin, what numbers do you have on your shelf? What do we cover at the beginning of the year?
We cover one-to-one correspondence, and this would be one-to-one correspondence. This is an example of one-to-one correspondence where they have a card with apples and they would take one apple and they would place that one apple on one of the apple pictures.
Okay.
Then we also have our sandpaper numbers, and we can place those items out. We would trace, this is number 1. We can put number 2 out, and we can trace, this is number 2. We can place number 3 out, and this is number 3. We also have a variety of different works that they can progress up to as they become more familiar with the works and more confident in their abilities to complete their works. I'm here for any questions that you may have, so please don't hesitate to contact me. Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi. So one of the things that you're going to notice that's going to be different in our environment this year is that with our groups, we also have different baskets that are traveling with them. Those are going to have books, those are going to have their work rugs, and that's going to have a basket of extra activities that we can pull out, what we call our transition tips and tricks. So that way they're not going from hand to hand with the different groups. What we'll do is that every so often we'll take those and we will divvy them up again. We'll sanitize everything so that it's ready for the next group. And I'm also over here in our geography area. We started introducing the geography about a year ago to where they will get to experience the different elements of the land, air, and water for the earth. We keep it very simple. So we keep it with the bottles so that they have an idea of what land is, what water is, and air will be introduced. And then they will sort and classify objects, animals, and transportation that go on land, air, and water. This in the geography area, also a part of that is geography of the body. So we are going to talk about, obviously, teaching them and learning them all their body parts will be on this side of the room.
Hi, welcome to the language area. In this area, we focus a great deal on vocabulary enrichment, and visual discrimination is also a very big part of it. As in all areas, we start off with concrete materials and then move our way on to abstract materials. This begins when the child is able to match object to object. And in our farm unit, we have farm animals and we have fruits and vegetables that we're using. And then from that, they move on to a little bit more advanced, which is object to picture, which we have to, like the sheep matches to the sheep picture, etc. And then we move on to matching pictures to loose pictures, and then pictures to fixed pictures. And then from that, we're going to introduce a lot more other pre-reading concepts this year, including patterning, which I have here. Patterning is, they start off by simply matching the object to the pattern that we present them, the pictures. And then we're going to try to progress it up until they can match or make their own pattern to mimic the pattern they see, or extend the pattern on beyond what is shown to them. And then this will also help them in the future to move on to finding patterns in words and help their reading in the future. Then we have in our logic and reasoning area, we have the other concepts that we're going to do, such as sequencing, which will be when you order pictures from like the first thing that happens and the second thing, and then so on. We have opposites over here. We have go-togethers, such as, in this case, we've got like the mama cow goes with the baby cow, and they find those. And we have classifying is another big skill in this area, and this will help them to organize the information in their brains a little bit more, such as big versus little vegetables, and cat versus dog, front versus back. We have 2 parts of a whole. It's where they can match the front of the pig and the back of the pig, and all these other abstract concepts are over here. And all of this is really good foundation for their future literacy, and I'm very excited to be teaching it. So like Robin said, if you have any questions or any concerns at all, please contact me. I'm very excited to be doing this with your children this year.
So this is our hallway, but this is also an area where your child's bins are going to be. So each child is going to have their own separate bin for their items that you will bring in. When you bring in your first group of items, you want an extra change of clothes. You want to make sure that they have diapers, bug spray, sunscreen if you need it, which we will put up, and a lovey if they happened to sleep with something special. Make a mental note, though, that if it is a lovey, that we prefer the lovey has to stay here. So make sure you have a second one at home if it's that important to the child. The nap items can stay here. We will wash them weekly for your child. And also here is that you're also going to have your hanger. As we tried to encourage the independence of a child in this building, child will have a hanger with their picture on it. So after washing their hands and getting everything, their shoes on, we're going to ask them to come and find their hanger, which will have their picture on it, so that they can be a part of the process of hanging up their jacket with us. And if we move around the corner, we're going to move right around into the potty area. Our potty process at Terry's actually begins in the infant environment. We feel that when a child is able to stand, we will start changing them standing up. That way they can, again, be a part of the process. They can begin to know that they can hold up their shirt for us. They can start to unfasten their diapers, so that they can have that initiative to do that. So they've already been familiar with standing up to be changed. So that's not going to be something that's they have not done. So up here, we're going to enhance that a little bit more. Even in the infants, if they show initiative to use the potty, they can actually bring the children up here to use the potty. But for those who haven't, we are going to start initiating it by asking them if they want to sit on the potty. A lot of the children at first, they're not going to want to until they get comfortable with the teachers. Eventually, we'll change our wording, and instead of asking them if they want to sit on the potty, we will actually ask them which potty they would like to sit on, to help with that process. We change every child every hour to 2 hours or upon needed, and we're going to document that on a chart. That way you can see what they're doing. There's always a little sheet on the back that will tell you what they are, if the items are, that with the labels, just in case you don't happen to remember them. So what we are looking for a child is the W is going to be wet, D is going to be dry, S is going to mean that they sat on the potty, and the P means that they pottied on the potty. When we are potty training, we look for that if the child is dry periodically throughout the day, and that they're actually using the potty a few times a day. And that means that they have some type of control over when they go to the bathroom. And then we'll start them off taking them every hour so that they can have a drier diaper. If they happen to have a bowel movement and we need to change them, we can change them on the changing table. So we do have that area for them as well. We are going to move to large motor now.
Okay.
Hi, welcome to Large Motor.
Get my lighting. Here.
This is where the children will work on their mobility skills. That includes the slide or the balls or any of the works on the table. They work on their social skills as well with other children with, what's the word? They work on waiting their turn and sharing with others, and
One of the things that's different about this area too is that all of our materials end up changing every 6 weeks. So what you see out here is a farm unit, but in 6 weeks we're going to have a totally different unit, which will be the water unit. So there's a lot of dramatic play. There's a lot of social cues that are learned here. Interaction for many children at this age. They're going to start working to where they work side by side, and then eventually they're going to move to cooperative play. That seems to be established a little bit more in the large motor area. Large motor maneuverability, like you got the balance beam, you've got walking up the steps, you have like you said, being able to throw a ball, which will also be calculated on a sheet for you guys at your conferences so you can see developmentally where they're at during that time.
Yep.
What she said.
What she said.
So this is our final area of our environment, and it's actually the backyard. Our backyard is going to be broken up into a variety of different zones. Again, the children are going to spend a little bit of time in each zone. Once they leave those zones, everything is going to be sanitized for the next group. That is pretty much how the day is going to entirely work. They'll spend some time in large motor, then they're going to move to another zone. This zone is going to be cleaned, and then another large motor, another group will move in. So that they do get to experience every aspect. One of the things that we also are still going to be doing and having here is 419. So that's our enrichment program, which is over in the office building. And that's, we're going to take 6 children over. It's set up the exact same way to where everybody, all of the areas are there. You're going to have your sensorial, your language, and your math. A group of children will go over in the morning, and a group of children will go in the afternoon. That permission slip is going to be in your packet for open house. You're going to want to make sure that you fill that out, sign it, and bring it back to us, because that gives us permission to actually take them over there. And that includes the toddler tour. If you guys have any questions, again, bring them to the Zoom meeting, which will be held the second week of school. We'll see you then. Thanks.